Superstorm Sandy has hit the U.S. state of New Jersey and overnight ranged through Manhattan and Connecticut, leaving 16 deaths in its trail and millions in darkness. President Barack Obama has declared a major disaster in New York and New Jersey and called for collective aid to the more than 9 million victims affected by Sandy. More details in this report.
On Tuesday evening, Hurricane Sandy slammed into Atlantic City, New Jersey on the northeast coast of the United States. This is one of the biggest storms ever to hit the U.S., and overnight it battered a vast region from North Carolina to Connecticut. New York City was hit particularly hard. Intense rains caused flooding in southern Manhattan, and water levels surged to over 4 meters in some areas. Sea tunnels and parts of the city's subway system were inundated, and it will take days to remove the water.
We knew that this was going to be a very dangerous storm, and the storm has met our expectations. The worst of the weather has come, and the city certainly is feeling the impacts. At the Battery, we have seen record surge levels. We're seeing an extraordinary amount of water throughout lower Manhattan.
The flooding caused a transformer to explode, and half the city was plunged into darkness. Around 11 p.m., a huge fire started in the borough of Queens, east of Manhattan, and around 200 firefighters struggled to control the blaze. 50 or more homes were destroyed in the fire. Authorities took a number of preventative measures before the storm hit. All sea tunnels were shut down and public transportation stopped. Authorities issued a mandatory evacuation order to 375,000 people at risk, but the majority of them decided to stay put. The National Guard was also deployed to ensure security in the evacuated areas. Early Tuesday morning, U.S. President Barack Obama declared a major disaster in the states of New York and New Jersey. 16 people have been killed in the U.S. by the storm, and nearly 9 million people were without power on Tuesday morning. 2 nuclear reactors were shut down early Tuesday, one in New York and another in New Jersey. Sandy is now heading north towards Canada.
Well, over now to sports. The Minister of Youth and Sports has presided over the inauguration of a new sports committee tasked with forging a sustainable and proper framework for developing sports in the Gambia. The formation of the 6-member committee, headed by Alpha Khan, emanated from the recently held National Dialogue on Sustainable Sports Development and forms part of the Minister's initiative to restructure Gambian sports. Modu S. Jallo has the details of that story.
Just days after masterminding the National Dialogue on Sustainable Sports Development, the Minister of Youth and Sports wasted little time to start implementing the recommendations and suggestions that were raised during the stakeholders conference. The first major step being the inauguration of this 6-member committee presided over by the Minister.
Now we want to move forward in the general interest of the nation to make sports a major and critical component of national development. As I said, we are here today gathered to witness the inauguration of a committee of highly distinguished personalities with impeccable character and vast experience in different fields of discipline to help government and of course everybody in the country establish proper framework for developing sports in the country.
The 2-day Sports Dialogue Conference held on the 13th and the 14th of this month, which was followed by a 5-day nationwide dialogue tour led by the Minister, generated diverging views arising from frank discussions with stakeholders. The inauguration of this new sports committee is one of the Minister's aggressive initiatives aimed at restructuring the country's sports to meet the required standards of a genuine sporting nation capable of competing at the highest level.
I want to develop a very comprehensive school sports program. And number 2, we are asking of them to help us propose principles on sports governance and administration for the running of national sports associations in the country. They will also provide a framework on decentralizing sports and sporting activities to the grassroots and the regions. We have taken the bold step, of course, at the level of the ministry to begin that process with football.
The committee has an initial mandate of 6 months, during which they are expected to come up with sound, tangible recommendations that will serve as guidelines in creating sustainable sports development. During this period,
let's now join the Central Forecast Office for a look at the weather report.
river as a sanctuary is committed to its inhabitants' needs without ceasing. And as you travel along, all these values are replicated in one company, Elton, just like the River Gambia, leads in its commitment to values that matter most. Elton, championing the vision for a new generation.
Good evening and welcome to the weather segment. It's first a summary of the weather followed by the forecast. The Gambia over the last 24 hours was characterized by a warm, humid and variably cloudy atmosphere. For what will follow, let's begin with a look at the satellite image captured at 16:30 hours, indicating the presence of convective clouds across the Gulf of Guinea states over the central and the southern part of the continent. The northern areas were generally dry and stable during the period. For a forecast over the Gambia tonight, conditions are expected to be variably cloudy and warm. The day tomorrow will be warm, sunny and variably cloudy. Winds will continue to be southwestern orientation but generally light to moderate in speed, and morning temperature values will be 24 degrees Celsius over Banjul and Yindum. We are expecting 23 degrees Celsius over Kerawan and Sibanor. The rest of the country will record 24 degrees Celsius tomorrow morning. Top temperatures will be 29 degrees Celsius over Banjul. Yindum will record 31 degrees Celsius. We are expecting 32 degrees Celsius over Kerawan and Sibanor. Elsewhere over the country will be either 33 or 34 degrees Celsius tomorrow afternoon. For the benefit of our sailors, we are expecting low tides of 0.30 meters at 4:19 a.m. and 0.24 meters at 4:29 p.m. High tides will be 1.59 meters at 10:36 a.m. and 1.70 meters at 10:58 p.m. Wave heights will vary between 0 to 1 meter and will be mainly northwesterly swells. The sun will rise at 2 minutes to 7 o'clock in the morning and will set at 19 minutes to 1900 hours. That was all we had for you on the forecast. Thank you very much for your kind attention. King.
Thank you, Yasin. And before we go, reminder of our headlines. President Jammeh has underscored the importance of science, technology and innovation in the socio-economic development of the Gambia. The Minister of Youth and Sports has presided over the inauguration of a new sports committee tasked to forge sustainable framework for developing sports in the Gambia. U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton has called on Algerian authorities to participate in efforts to liberate northern Mali from the grip of armed Islamists. And Superstorm Sandy continues to batter several U.S. cities after killing 16 and leaving 9 million residents without electricity. That brings us to the end of the news. Thank you very much for your time. And coming up next is an interview GRTS had with His Excellency the President on the Gambia Port Authority's upcoming events, which is meant to support education in the sciences. Enjoy.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for giving us this opportunity to talk to you. You've been a great supporter of the OPES project. The government this year declared the year 2012 as the year of science, technology and innovation. Why have you attached so much importance in the promotion of the sciences?
First of all, I want to thank the GPA management and the staff and supporters of OPES. I want to develop this country. I want this country to be the best.